Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. This is Dr. Zainab. I got a couple of questions on EST August 2021. The first question is number 13. So let's do number 13. All right. Number 13, you have differences in punctuation. So you have your commas at different areas. So when you have differences in punctuation, go back to your sentence and look to see if you can find the subject, the verb, and the complete thought. Here it says, through the archaeological and anthropological discoveries made in France and Slovenia. This is a prepositional phrase, an introductory prepositional phrase. It's a fragment, so that's why we put a comma here. Remember, we're looking for the subject and the verb. The verb here is know, and our subject is we. We know. All right. We know that Netherlands, as long as 53 years ago, had. All right. Here I have a relative pronoun, that, and the verb had created goes along with this subject. So here, as long as 53,000 years ago, it's non-essential. So I'm going to put a comma at the very beginning and at the very end. So that's why B is my answer. All right. It's not essential, so I have to put commas. I'm not going to put a comma after as, and I'm not going to put a comma between 53,000 and years. So that's why my answer is B, a comma around a non-essential. Number 29. Number 29 is pretty interesting. The answer key says that the answer is C, but actually I disagree with the answer key. It says here, low-fat cheese works as a digestive aid. All right. Here, low-fat cheese is your subject, works is your verb, and you have a complete thought until the word aid. And then you have a comma, fanboy, a comma, coordinating conjunction. Afterwards, you have to have a complete sentence. It is full of sodium. All right. And why did I use the present tense? Because my sentence is in the present. So that's why my answer is A rather than C. If there wasn't this comma before and, I could have chosen C, but because there's a comma and, you need to put a complete sentence before and after. All right, and the last question is number 42. Number 42. It's talking here, you have different verbs. So you have to, choose the correct word. So you have to figure out what's the meaning they want. So it says the tree should be set into the tree hole at the same depth that it stood in the nursery. Its roots, where there is no ball of soil around them, should be carefully something. And good soil should be worked in carefully with the fingers among the fine rootlets. So you want to do something with the roots and make sure that there's soil around the roots. Okay, every root fiber is thus brought into close contact with the soil. So you want to make sure that the root is touching the soil. So every single one of the rootlets. So that means what are you going to do with the roots? Certainly you're not going to detach it. You're not going to cut it off. You want to spread out the roots so that the soil touches every rootlet. You don't want to morph it and you're not going to attach it. It's already attached. So that's why your answer here is B. Thank you for your questions.